Hi, this is Sandra from freedomsuccesscoaching.com and welcome to my video blog. And today I just want to talk about the 5 ways that you can start to see the good in everything, or to see the good in at least most things. I know it's not easy to see the good when you're having a really bad time, when you're having a really hard time. I struggle with it. We all struggle with it. But the thing is, if you really do want to have a better experience of your life and have more fun in your life and to be able to do things that you want to do with your life, you have to start training your brain to see the good in everything. You have to start training your brain to have your cup at least half full rather than half empty. If you stay in the doom and gloom mentality, your brain will look for more gloom and doom because it's essentially what you're telling it to do. There's a part of our brain, function of our brain called the reticular activating system, and that is its function, to delete all information that we deem to be not important. And if you've got a mindset that is rather negative and sees the negative in everything, and you have a lot of negative things happen to you, it's probably because you're training your brain to see only the negative because it thinks that's what you want to see. But if you want to start training the reticular activating system to start seeing the good things in life and to bring the good things to you, then you need to retrain it. So, number 1, the first thing you need to do is whenever you catch yourself having a really negative thought about something, a really negative reaction about something, just simply say, neutralize that. Very firmly, preferably out loud, if not in your head, just say, neutralize that. That gives you the opportunity to step back and observe the situation, and then, step number 2, to look for the good in it, or to look for something at least neutral in it. So you say, neutralize that, step back, go, what if there is something positive about this? What if there is something good that can come out of this? What if there is something positive that can come from this? And step number 3 is, don't feel guilty about that. Sometimes we feel that we can't see the good in something because it would be wrong to see the good in something. We're maybe doing somebody a disservice by seeing the good in a situation that they might be struggling with. Somebody might be in a lot of suffering and we might feel guilty about trying to see the good in it. But if you don't see at least something good in it, you can't help that person who's suffering anyway, because you're just going to go down and suffer with them, and that's not going to give them the opportunity to start to have their own experience of maybe feeling a little bit lighter. You don't necessarily need to share what you're finding good with them, but by going down into that negative state with them, you're only making the negative state worse. At least trying to stay up in a state that's a little bit more comfortable can energetically help bring that other person into a little bit more of a comfortable space as well. It's like you're holding the space for that person. And in your life, when you see things that are bad and you feel guilty about looking for the good, it's not just about making you feel better, it's about raising your energy up to a higher state of being, which helps raise the energy of everything around you, including the people around you. So it's not just you that you're helping other people around you as well. So, number 1, neutralize that. Number 2, find the good in it. And number 3, stop feeling guilty about it. Don't feel guilty about seeing the good in something that is potentially bad. Even if it's just a little thing that's good, it'll help raise the energy and can help everybody in that situation feel that little bit more positive and help perhaps even find a solution that is going to be of benefit to the situation, because you'll be training your brain to look for the good, look for the benefits, look for the good things, and that will help you see the opportunities more than if you're only looking for the bad things. You're going to miss the opportunities. So they're the first 3 things. The 4th thing is, try not to be careful who you hang around. If you find yourself in situations where you're hanging around people who do only see the bad in everything and have trained themselves to see the bad in everything, you run the risk of going down there with them. And even though you might be able to lift their energy a little bit by you seeing the good in things, it doesn't really help you to be there with them if you don't have to be. Now, there's some situations you, particularly with family and friends, who might be going through a difficult time where you can't move away from them and it may not be appropriate to do so. But in situations where you can choose the people that you hang around, then if they're really bringing you down and they're really negative, don't feel guilty about moving away from them, about letting them go down their own path and letting them find their own way. Because two people down in a hole is no good. Neither of you are going to get out of that hole if you're both down there. Somebody has to be up the top of the hole with a rope to help the other person out, but only if that other person wants to get out. So you need to make sure you don't go down the holes with other people, and if you find yourself falling down into those holes, then try and not be around those people. And the last thing, number 5, is to stop blaming everybody else for what's going on around you. You can even stop blaming yourself for what's going on around you. What is. And mostly the situations that happen, yes, somebody might have done something, somebody might have said something, but you're responsible for your own reactions to things. You're responsible for your own nervous system and your own way that it reacts to things. You can't blame other people for making you feel a certain way, because in all reality, it is us that governs our feelings. We can actually decide not to feel a certain way just because somebody says something or does something. Now, I know that people are going to say, yeah, it's easy to say, it's easy to say, it's easy to say. And it is easy to say, and it's hard to do. These things take work. They're not easy, and you have to practice them. You can't just open up a book on self-development, read it, and think that you're going to totally change yourself. You can't read a book or watch a video on spiritual development or any type of work and think that just by having one listen or one read that your life's going to change. The reality is you have to practice these things. You have to implement them, practice them whenever you remember to practice them, all day, every day, in order for your brain to learn them. It's a learning thing. You've got to learn how to do this, because we learned how to be negative. We learned how to see the negative in everything. Now we have to learn how to see the good things in the good in everything. And yes, there is going to be moments of guilt and moments of shame, and you're just going to have to navigate your way through that. But there is no easy solution to any of this. I don't want to stand here and say it's easy, because it isn't. And I know the whole marketing hype and the whole self-development industry is an industry that does want to sell programs and make money. And it's the same here. I like to sell programs and make a living as well. But I don't want to lie to you that these things are easy, because they're not. They do take work, but it's worth taking, because the results at the end of it and what you get at the end of it is totally awesome. So it's worth taking that time out to practice. So that's all for me today. I'm Sandra from freedomsuccesscoaching.com, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.